Thanks everybody for joining us for another Flipping Tables. Today we have a Kickstarter preview of Monster Stomping Heroes coming to Kickstarter on February 23rd, 2021. What a great travel game this is. It's wonderful. 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, created by John Clark. And you know what? I don't know what I was going to say. We're going to be talking to John actually about his game. So look for an episode of Kicking Tables of this game. But wow, I really enjoyed this game.
This is fun. It's not too short, but it's also not too long. It like the matches can take a little while because it's a lot of back and forth.
Really great back and forth in this
fun.
game.
It has a lot of elements that sort of really reminded me of Munchkin, the take that cards. It's like, you're going to do that? Nope. And you're dropping cards to block your opponents.
So the basic idea is you are trying to defend your city against monsters, and you're building a monster. You're also building a hero, and you have to get city defenses up to six city defenses around your city to win the game. And the more players you have, the less city defenses you need. But let's have a look at the components. So these are the components in the game. As we mentioned, you are defending a city. So you're going to choose one of these 5. Again, it's 2 to 5 players, so there's 5 cities. London, Paris, Moscow, New York, Toronto. You know what? First of all, thank you, John, for throwing a Canadian city in here.
It's nice to see Canada represented.
Yeah, Canada represent. I'm going to take Toronto for our example.
All right.
And which one do you want?
Yeah, I was New York last time. I'm going to grab London.
You're going to defend London.
I'm going to defend London this time.
So
New York, I think it's a lost cause. Let's just leave it where it is.
And we won't say much about Moscow. So we're just going to throw those cards aside. Then you choose a hero body and a monster body, and you're going to build these up. One is going to for attacking. Your monster is going to attack, and your hero is for defense. So, Tico, which hero and monster do you want?
Oh, all right.
Great looking.
It's just fun.
They're just fun
art. You've got I'm going to go with the fuzzy spined.
All right. I'm going to go with the scaled dragon looking guy.
All right.
All right. So again, those ones go out of the game. And hero wise, which one do you like? There's 3 male and 2 female heroes.
Yeah, I'm going to take this.
I'm actually going to take this one here. I love the armor. It's a female-looking armor. I love that. So the others go out of the game. So now I'm defending Toronto. I've got my hero and my monster.
Yep.
And we are going to build up these creatures and heroes. And we're going to do that by drawing cards. Now, if we each get 5 cards in our hand to start with. You always draw up to 6 cards at the beginning of your turn. And then you can play either a city defense card, which looks like this. So you can play a city defense card. You can play like a hammerhead, for example, on your creature.
Your monsters, that's +3.
So now that gives your monster a +3 to his attack. And you play your city defense around your city. And again, you're trying to get 6 of these to play. So once you can play one of those cards per turn, you can then also play a special card, which are the blue bordered cards. So this one, I could play this card and Tico would skip his next turn. There are other ones you can play a nope anytime. So which would say nope. I'm vetoing that special card you've played.
Those block both the special cards as well as the combat cards, which are the red bordered cards.
The red bordered cards are combat cards that you play after you've when you've been declared to be attacked, or when you're attacking. In this particular case, I should probably enunciate. Monster is blocked and its score cannot be used in combat. We're going to get to how that works in just a minute. So as you play through these cards, you're going to get feet for your monster. We got Hell Hooves. Look at that. We're going to play Hell Hooves on my monster. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And then let's look for some character or some hero cards. That's a monster. There's a hero.
Tank feet.
Tank feet. Let's put tank feet on yours. That's awesome. Tank feet. And do we have a hero head in here somewhere? Oh, there's a hero arm. Your mecha glove.
Throw that mecha glove on there. So you're building up this really fun, powerful.
I'm going to give myself some rocket wings over here. That's a pretty awesome. So yeah, you're building up your creatures like this, and you can then declare that you're going to attack. So if I say, Tico, I'm attacking your city.
Yeah. No.
To which you reply,
I believe it is how rude.
how rude.
How rude. Which is, so then you will then.
So now we roll I'm rolling for my base monster. So the monster himself doesn't have any stats. The head has a +3. The feet have a +3. So base-wise, he's at a 6. But I'm going to roll this die. And he has a 2. So I'm taking that 2 and I'm adding it to the 6. So I'm attacking with a value of 8.
Right. So that'd be defending with my hero.
So you've got 2 on your feet, 1 on your gloved hand.
Yeah.
So you've got a 3 to start with, plus your die roll. And you rolled a 5. Okay, so now you're defending with 8 against my 8.
Yes.
Now, if we look through these cards, there are also great cards. And I should have had some prepared, so my apologies. But let's look for the red one. So here's a great one that you could use.
Yeah.
Lightning Charge. You could use this to gain hero power +3. So you could play that and say, now I've got a +3. So I'm now hitting you. I'm now defending for 11. And I may find one that has, I could play this against you, hero power -4.
Yep.
So that brings you down. And it's sort of a back and forth.
Back and forth. You're playing cards that you have. You don't want to necessarily, sometimes you want to hold on to a card. So like, I could play this, but if he has a nope, then, you might be able to stop me from doing that. So it's a back and forth little dance to see.
So yeah, exactly.
Who's eventually going to win the battle. Once the winner is determined.
It's very Munchkin-like in that back and forth, trying to determine. You're attacking each other as opposed to the monster in the dungeon in Munchkin, but it's the same idea.
And you can, in a situation like this, if I were behind, if we're playing a larger game with
5
3 to 5 players,
yeah.
I could ask somebody else to use their help.
So they can use a combat card, one combat card to help you.
Yeah.
To either hinder you or help you, really, is what it comes to. So I could play monster power +4. Hero power -4. So you now, so your hero power +3. So that brought you up to 11.
Yeah.
I gave you -4. You're back down to 7. I gave my monster a +4. So at this case, I'm actually winning the attack against you.
You did get to look through the deck and cherry pick whatever you
wanted.
wanted.
I did.
So I should have an opportunity to grab a whole bunch of cards too.
But say I were to win, he has a city. The real reason you're playing these cards is you're actually trying to defend or defeat the city defense. So if I were to win this round, I then take your city defense card and play it around my city.
Unless you ask for help. If you ask for help from another player in the attack or defense stage, then you would not.
The city defense actually gets discarded.
Yeah.
That's right. So you do want to try to do it alone in order to win that.
Yeah.
The objective is for a three-player game, you want to get 6 city defense cards around your city. At that point, the very next player has the opportunity to attack you to get rid of one. If they don't get rid of it, if they lose the battle, you win the game. If they win the battle, obviously they're going to steal it and you're back down to 5. The gameplay continues.
Yeah.
It is really fun. I love the pace of this game.
Yeah, it's a really fun game because you can't just build up one side. You have to build up your attack with your monster and make sure that your monster is ready to go. And you also have to make sure that your hero is ready to defend your city.
Exactly.
So because you can only do one thing, so when you're playing a card, you can only play one card down on your hero or your monster.
You can only play one hero, what do they call enhancement?
Yep.
Or sorry, one hero enhancement, one monster enhancement, or one city defense card.
Correct.
Per turn, along with a blue bordered card, which is a special you can play. So 2 cards total you can play, unless there's an ability to allow you to play another card.
You can also reset your hand by discarding as many as you'd like and drawing back up to one more than that, but then you don't get to play anything that turn.
That's your turn.
You're using that turn. In addition, when you're attacking,
that is your turn.
That's your turn. You don't get to add something, then attack. Right. So you have to, okay, my monster's ready to attack that city, and then you go.
Right. So your turn consists of either playing cards, replacing your hand by however many cards you want. So if you have a bad hand, you want to get rid of 4 cards. Get rid of 4 cards, draw 5 more up, so you have 6 cards in your hand. Then you have to discard 1 back down to 5. That is your turn. or you can attack, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Also-
And it's just back and forth. It's so great.
Yeah. Also, as part of your turn too, you can upgrade some of your components. So if I have a +1 here and I manage to draw a +2, I could use my
Replace
turn
that.
to replace that. And for aesthetic, if I had another +1 thing that just looked cooler, I can do that as a free action.
Yeah. Yeah, if you get better arms.
Yeah.
What I love about it too, Chico, is a lot of the character, like the heads, the feet, the arms, some of them you get and it's like, oh, that's for that monster.
Yeah.
Right? You could essentially get this monster's accoutrements around him that actually complete that particular monster.
It looks like from that picture initially like that. I believe there's a hammer tail for that. For that body, which is really neat.
neat.
And like, yeah, you've got my fuzzy legs. I think those might be.
I don't think so.
They don't.
No, he's
don't.
like a brown bear or something. But anyway, that is Monster Stomping Heroes by John Clark. Again, look for our episode of Kicking Tables where we're going to talk to John a little bit more about this game. What a fantastic travel game. Look how small this box is. You know, it's easy to throw in a backpack, play up to 2 to 5 players, and it could take a while to play. Like
if you have
there was a lot of back and forth while you and I were playing, even though you won. You've been on a bit of a winning streak lately, but
yes.
What was great was twice, Tico, you got 6 defense, and then I defeated it, and the game continued on. I was able to steal one of those defenses back, but then it got to the point where I did not have the cards to use.
At a certain point, you run out of cards.
Yeah.
So, you're trying to hold on. Sometimes it makes sense to not defend because you're really wanting to make sure. Okay, I've got to make sure I have this in my hand for the next possible defense. Like, is this a lost cause? Am I going to waste this card?
Right. Also, because if you're attacking, you can't draw more cards. So if you're forced to attack multiple turns in a row, you're losing cards every turn, which is another strategy.
Yeah.
Right. You were forcing me to attack you because it was end game, and I could not draw more cards to get something else to defend.
Right. So by the second or third time in a row that you had to do that, you had
done.
No defensive cards left, and you're like one bad roll away from.
And then I flipped the table.
You did
totally flip the table. But anyway, Monster Stomping Heroes by John Clark. Wonderful game. Again, check out our interview. And thanks for joining us for this episode of Flipping Tables. Check out Monster Stomping Heroes on Kickstarter. Welcome, everybody, to another show.
It's not that hard. Like, even I've memorized it at this point.
Oh, then you do it.
No.
You just told me earlier you couldn't do it.
No, I can't do it.
Welcome, everybody. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. It's because I introduce every show we're on, and I'd have to remember what we're doing.
I know, all 3 of them.
Yeah.